Spread your wings and fly, go!
Yo, what is going on YouTube? This your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again. And today we're here for Zenkaiger episode 38. And I apologize for the lateness, everybody. I was, but I still am, but I have been painfully sick. I've been bedridden for the last few days. So if I sound a bit messed up, then you know why. I just been really sick. It's not that thing. It's not that thing. It's something else, but it's not that thing that everybody be thinking about. It's not that thing. But yeah, so let's get into it. I'm gonna make this one quick, but yeah. But this episode, we got 2 months. We got basically it's Christmas time, and it's also Kaito's birthday coming up too. So we're getting 2 things, and we got 2 Toji Tendo monsters in this episode. We got Bond World and New Year's World. Now, New Year's World, we ain't got to worry about in this episode. We ain't got to worry about him in this episode. But we're dealing with Bond World. These two they basically got dispatched at the same time, and they basically met up with each other, and they decided to fight together. And so basically they tried using their powers at the same time, but it kind of canceled each other out, I guess, because because of the things that they represent. I guess that's what canceled each other out. So that's when Hakaiser shows up, Stacy shows up, freaking Kaiser shows up, and everybody just starts fighting each other or whatever. Bond World, New Year's World, he ends up escaping, but Bond World ends up using his power. And his power was basically he sits off like this white mist, and this mist essentially just it makes your ancestors come back to life. It's weird, but it basically makes your ancestors come back to life. And we see Jiren's great grandfather, and this guy don't know nothing about nothing. Well, he don't know anything that's going on right now, so. And also, he knows who the whole Toji Tendo and everything is. He knows who they are and all that stuff. But he doesn't know anything about the whole Toji Tendo world and human world fusing together and stuff like that. He doesn't know nothing about that. So when he sees Kaito, he gets scared. He's like, "What is that?" He's like, "What are you?" He gets scared of Kaito. But yeah, so throughout the episode, we see them. They basically get him up to speed on like what's happening, what's going on. And he basically tells them that, hey, you guys should stop trying to fight the Empire because, you're going to lose and all that stuff. And also, we see Zox, his ancestor, comes back, and he's a pirate. Full-on pirate man. And, yeah, he's here. And then we also see that Stacy's mom actually comes back as well. And that was I could tell that was a very emotional thing for him. But we see that Zox is not very fond of his ancestor at all. This guy's a whole freaking jerk. He tries to take over their ship and all kind of stuff like that. He calls them soft and stuff. Yeah, he basically tries to take over their ship and everything. Stacy with his mom. It basically is like them. It basically is like, it's not like they're full on brought back to life. It's just Bond World's power. It's not really essentially them, but they act exactly like them, have their memories and all of that. And we see that Stacy takes her back to Toji Tendo, and they see Bara Shitara, and Bara Shitara like disrespects Stacy and everything, and his mom defends him and stuff like that. And he's like, I've wived many women, but I never wived a ghost before. And it's like, oh, shut up. And he's like, don't touch her and all that stuff. And then they end up leaving. They end up going to this forest and having a nice talk with each other, stuff like that. And in the also within the episode, we see none of we didn't get no ancestors for Kaito or anything like that, or anybody else in the team. It was just Juren, you know. So what happens is we see that the Bond World ends up using his power again, and creating and making, like, going 2.0, and basically making all the ancestors rage out and trying to kill everybody. Well, basically kill their descendant. So Stacy's mom is trying to kill him, and it's so sad. Like, he doesn't try to fight her or anything like that. He's just running from her. He's defending himself. He's like blocking her. She has this big knife, and he's blocking her hits and everything. He's running from her, but for some reason she's like Jason, like she's freaking teleporting in front of him and stuff. And no matter how far he runs, like she teleports in front of him and all that stuff. And great grandpappy Juren, he starts attacking Juren with his cane and slapping him and stuff, and just hitting him. And I don't know, it's just and yeah. So oh yeah, and Zox, his ancestor, is completely peeing him off, and he is fighting this dude tooth and nail. So they ended up finding Bond World, and when they ended up defeating Bond World, and after that, all the ancestors end up fading away. But Stacy, he still felt bad that he basically had to see his mom die twice, which was weird. I mean, it wasn't weird. It was sad, but it wasn't like super weird. Kaiser kind of played a sort of role in this episode as well. He reassures Stacy that, hey, if you ever need to talk to me, we're friends and stuff like that. And we did see Kaito come off. He goes and he saves, while he was fighting Kaiser, while they went and found Bond World, Kaito was fighting Kaiser, and he sees that now that all of the ancestors are starting to rage out, that means Stacy's mom is raging out against him. So what he said, he tells Kaiser, hey, Kaiser, do you know where Stacy is right now? And Kaiser and Kaito go back and find Stacy, and he stopped and oh my god, Kaito stops Stacy's mom from stabbing him. Oh god. he stops Kaito's mom. He stops Stacy's mom from stabbing him. And then that's when the rest of the team ended up defeating Bond World. And after they defeated Bond World, then everything fades away. And that's when Kaito runs off to go help the rest of the team, fight giant Bond World. So we turn to Super Zenkaiger, and this fight was weird, but just like all the mech fights, they're all super weird anyway. But we see that this Bond World was able to summon a giant eggplant and a giant cucumber to fight them. It was so stupid, but it was funny nonetheless. But yeah, they ended up defeating Bond World, and the next episode we're gonna take down New Year's World. But we see that Stacy has a revelation, and he starts to ask himself, like, why am I hurting Kaito right now by keeping his father away from him, just like how my dad did all those bad things to me? Am I becoming my father? Stuff like that. So it was weird. And also we go back to Ijidude. He's summoned by Bokuwas and Gigi, and we see Bokuwas is holding like this piece of metal, and he's like, wait a minute, and he's like, what is that? And he's like, this is a piece of the Overlord. And I'm like, the Overlord? He said it's a piece of the Overlord's previous body. And I'm like, who's the Overlord? So it's a piece of the Overlord's body, and he says, I want to see what it can do to Kaiser. So he's telling Ijidu to use this piece of this Overlord to give to Kaiser. I don't know what the duck is going on, but since when was there an Overlord? I don't know, but Ichiru looked terrified. He looked absolutely terrified. He's like he couldn't even say words at the sight of this piece of metal. So whoever this overlord is, he gotta be that guy. All right. But anyway, this episode's funny. It was good. It was funny seeing, everybody's ancestors. It was cool seeing everybody's ancestors. It was sad seeing Stacy's mom, trying to kill him. That was a thing. But other than that, I wonder. Stacy got to hurry up and turn or something because this character just keep flip flopping. But other than that, what you guys think about this episode? Y'all let me know down in the comment section below. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, stay henshin.